Hello, everybody. I'm Rusty with Rusty Brown Photography. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be talking about out with the old, in with the new, and what my number one photography New Year's resolution is. Let's go. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Rusty Brown Photography. So glad you guys are here. Let me start off by saying Happy New Year to everyone. I really do wish each and every one of you a blessed, safe, happy, and prosperous 2021. We have kicked 2020 to the curb, thankfully, and we have nothing but big things to look forward to in 2021. Also, I hope that you guys all had a wonderful and blessed Christmas as we did here at the Brown household. So, like I said in the intro, right? It's a new year, so we're going to be talking about out with the old and in with the new. And what that means for me specifically is I'm bringing in a new piece of gear to help me with the production, with my workflow, if you will. And that's basically a laptop, right? So to show you what I've had for years, specifically 5 years, this Alienware beast of a laptop, Alienware 15, circa 2015, I believe. 2 terabyte hard drive, 256 SSD, every port known to man, multiple USB ports, a direct Ethernet connection, USB-C, full SD card reader, just the beast of a machine, right? Well, you know what? It died in 2018. And since that time, I haven't been using a laptop at all in my workflow. Everything that I do is in the office studio, which is great because it's a beast of a machine and it's built for that kind of productivity. But what I miss about not having a laptop is the ability to do media things while not tied to the office, right? Like when you're mobile or whatever. So I decided after a couple of years I'm going to go back to a laptop, but not anything nearly as big and as bulky. This is the new Dell XPS 13, the 9310, the new one, not the 9300. And I'll tell you what the differences are here in a minute. Much smaller footprint than, the Alienware. Very lightweight. The Alienware, by the way, is right around 8 pounds. This is just over 2.5 pounds. So let's talk about this, but first I'm going to attempt to do some sort of an unboxing, which is not what I normally do, but let's give it a shot. And here it is, folks, the XPS 13 from Dell. Very sweet machine, carbon fiber, nice large keyboard, very small, lightweight. This little guy comes with the 11th generation Intel i7 processor known as the Tiger Lake CPU. Extremely fast, very good CPU. Windows 10 Pro, I opted for that in the build as opposed to Windows 10 Home. It has the Intel Iris Xe graphics card in it for fast and accurate rendering of the graphics. A 13.4-inch FHD Plus. And this is actually not 16 by 9. This is 16 by 10. So as it turns out, the resolution is 1920 by 1200 as opposed to your standard 1920 by 1080. So you have a taller, if you will, screen there, so you can see a little bit more. The bezel is almost non-existent. The screen goes all the way to the edge, which is really, really amazing. It is a touchscreen, by the way. Has Gorilla Glass on it. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a sec as well. I had this one loaded with 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 on the SSD. It's got 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, right? And they do, inside the box, give you a dongle to USB. But that's pretty much it. You have a micro SD card reader and a port for a headphone. And that's all you have. When you really start getting down to this size of a laptop, you don't have a lot of room for a lot of excess ports and such, right? Let's talk about some of the pros. Obviously, it's very sleek. It's a very fast machine. Just a beauty to look at, you know what I mean? It's got really good lines on it. Again, full-size keyboards. Love the carbon fiber on the wrist rests. Powerful, extremely long battery life, much longer than obviously my old one from 5 years ago. That 16 by 10 display I was talking about, I don't think I would have really benefited from getting a 4K monitor on a 13-inch laptop. I just think it's too small. The cons, there are two cons. We talked about that before briefly. It doesn't have a lot of ports on it. And the price. Let's talk about the price a little bit. If you spec this out today, with the configuration that I have on it, it will come up at about $1,650. I got this for $1,350 right around Black Friday because Dell was doing some sales and they had some coupons. Now when I was talking about the touchscreen version is about $400 more than the non-touchscreen. I don't even know if I need the touchscreen or not, but the discounted price was on the touchscreen model. So I could have gotten the non-touchscreen, but it didn't have that coupon that dropped that price down to under $1,400. I already have Microsoft Office Pro or Business, whatever the big one is called. I have licenses for that, so I'm going to download that to this machine. I am all in on the Adobe ecosystem, so I'm going to download some Adobe to this machine, but only Photoshop and Lightroom. I'm not using this to do video editing. I think Premiere is just too big of a hog, and the idea behind me purchasing this guy was to allow me to edit photographs while mobile. One of the things that you may notice that this has, and it's getting really good ratings, they say this trackpad is amazing, but I can't edit with a trackpad. I have to use a mouse, or I have to use my Wacom tablet. And actually the Wacom tablet is bigger than this laptop, so I wouldn't carry that for an edit. And with a mouse, again, with the shortage of ports, I had to find something different. Well, different for me. And that was this guy. Thanks to Derek, he recommended that I look for a Bluetooth mouse. Now this mouse is a Logitech MX Master. Very sleek, also rated really well. So with 2021, it's about being lighter, faster, but just as powerful as ever. As you know, when I'm vlogging on trips, all I use is this guy. The GoPro Hero 8, super small, fits in the palm of your hand. If you want to see just how good this 4K 60 looks, I will put a link in the description for the last video that I shot with this while we were on vacation for Missy and Glenn's wedding. Everything in that film was all shot at 4K with this little guy. So between a smaller laptop, a small vlog camera, and as you know, the camera that I'm filming on right now, the A6400, is a small camera too. I can actually have a smaller footprint in my bag when I travel. I will always have my big cameras that I use for big jobs and professional jobs and such, but I'm looking forward to the ability to be able to edit and produce some of my images away from my home office studio. My expectation for the new XPS 13 is to be able to enhance my workflow. And again, we talked about workflow. If you guys didn't see that particular video, I'm going to put a card somewhere around here. Go back and take a look at that. It's very important. One of the reasons in workflow that we talk about that, don't have your most precious media, your most precious files on something, on any machine that's like this. That's the value of an external hard drive. And thankfully, you know, when the Alienware died, it didn't impact any of my files, right? The programs, everything's in the cloud now. You download Adobe over again, you download Microsoft and Windows and etc. But the files, I always output to something external because hardware does crap out. If you have not already liked and subscribed, please do so because it means a lot to me and the channel. And although I started this kind of late in 2020, I want to rock this channel all the way through 2021, and hopefully I can bring you guys some good bits of information. I can learn from you. We can learn from each other. Last thing that I want to leave you with for 2021 is my #1 New Year's resolution for 2021, and you could probably figure it out. It's pretty simple. I'm going to shoot more photographs. That's it. None of this matters if you're not picking up your camera and going to shoot. I challenge everyone, no matter what your photography resolutions are, to add that and put it at the top. You know, you can become a better editor, you can get more gear, you can do all those things, but none of that matters if you're not actively shooting. So for me, I want to shoot more portraits. I'm really hoping that I can get back out there in the field and work with some of the models that are out there that are eager to get back. I want to do some special projects. I can't tell you about them because I was going to do one of them in 2020, and because of COVID wasn't able to. But the point is, everything that I want to do from a photography standpoint in 2021 starts with picking up the camera, going out and shoot. So that's it for today, folks, where we talked about this brand new Dell XPS 139310. If you want to look it up, that's the model, XPS 9310. How this is going to help me expand my workflow. We talked about what that workflow is going to be. How I'm going to start using the Bluetooth mouse while I'm mobile. And we talked about my number one New Year's resolution for 2021. I'll be back in another couple of weeks with another topic. One of the things that I'm going to be introducing this year, hopefully, is we can do some Zoom calls. If you're interested, hit me in the comments, let me know. We can do a Zoom call, record it, and then I can put it on the channel. We can share it with others so that you and me and the community around us, the photography community, can learn something, because I would bet you that most of us probably have the same questions or comments or lessons learned. Stay safe, Happy New Year, and keep shooting. Bye now.